Hello friends, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to look at a difference between star schema and snowflake schema. In a very simple model, we will learn or try to learn why star schema is always a recommended and best practice compared to the snowflake schema. Let's take a look at a simple model and the problem using snowflake and how that can be easily resolved using the star schema. So let's get to Power BI. So in Power BI, I have a very simple model. We have a sales table, which is a fact table. Then we have a stores table, which is one-to-many relationship. And then we have a store type, which is a type of the store. So that is again one-to-many. So one type can have a many stores and one store can have many sales. So this is pretty straightforward, very simple data. Again, this question was actually posted on Power BI community forum. I will post the link of the question, very well explained on the community, the problem in hand, and I will post the link of that question in the details of this video. Do check out the question to get more details about the actual problem. So going back to the visualization, so here I did, we have like a 5 stores in our stores table. Again, this is the store name coming from the stores table. So we have A, B, C, D. And what we have is the sales is only for A, C, and D, but not B. A store does not have any sales, so that's why this is what we're seeing as in a sale. So the ask was, is user wanted to show the zero sale if there is no sales. So they wanted to show the sales, a store here with the zero sales. The one way to do this was actually the user already explained in the post. What he did is he said and show items with no data, this option. So it does show the store B in the list, as you can see now it is showing here, but the problem is it shows as a blank and user wanted to show the value 0. So again, a common scenario for this, what we do is we go to our sales table, sum sales table, and added plus 0. And now what we see is basically we are forcing it to show value 0 if there is no sales. So now, as you can see in this case, now B start showing 0. Even if I now remove uncheck show items with no data, I still get to see the store B. So until this point, everything is working as expected. No issue, no problem. I can filter on store B and it will show me 0 value since there's no sales. Filter on A and everything works perfectly fine. Now here comes a challenge. So what user wanted to do is to filter on the type of the store. So which is again a store type. Just going back to the model, store type is this is a snowflake schema. Sales does not have a direct relationship with the store type. So store type, he wants to filter on the type of the store, and that will filter the stores, and then that will show the sales. So let's bring the store type here from a store type reference table just to see how the data looks like. So there are 2 stores. Fashion has 2 store A and B does not have a sale, and then electronics has C and groceries has D. So this is what it is. Now what user wanted is to use store type as a slicer, and then based on the slicer, so if we select store type fashion, it will show the store A and B and their sales, and if we uses electronics, then C and then D, and so forth, so on. So let's bring store type as our slicer here. Just bring it next, so change it to the slicer, and pay attention to the matrix visual. What happens here? I'm going to bring this next to matrix table visual. So if I filter on electronics, again in electronics we have only store C, and I expected to see store C only here, and or if I slice on electronics, I expected to see, oh sorry, if I select a fashion, I expected to see A and B store. So let's filter on fashion. Now here is the problem. So as you probably immediately guessed it, when we filter on a fashion, the store A is a fashion and store B is a fashion. We know there is only two stores under fashion. So A is showing the sales of A and B showing the correct sales, because there's no sales for B, but we are seeing the value 0 because we forced it to show value 0. But then it also show the C and D. Now that's a problem, because if I selected store fashion and it has only two stores under it, I should only see store A and B with the 0 value, because that does not have any sales, and A should show its sales. And this is not working as expected. So if I click on electronics, I expected to see the store C only, but not A, B, C, other A, B, D. So let's click on electronics. So as you can see in this one, it tells us there's only electronics has one store, which is C. But when we go to the matrix visual, the problem is it is showing C with the value, but rest with the 0. Now that's what we don't want. The user want whatever the type is selected, only the respective stores of that type should show up in the matrix visual, and any of the store does not have the sale should show up the sales value as 0. And let's change this measure a little bit back to where it was without adding plus 0 and see how does it behave. So now it's working perfectly fine. If we select electronics, it shows the sales C, and the problem again goes back to the fashion. If we select fashion, we have two stores A and B, and then it's only showing the sales A but does not show the B. But we, as I said, the problem is that we want to show the stores with the 0 value, and if we select a store type, it should only show those stores which are of that type we have selected, and if it doesn't have any sales, it should show the value 0. So now why this is not working? Where is the problem? Now again, if we go back to the data model, so store is filtering our store type is filtering our stores table, and store is filtering the sales table. Theoretically, it looks like it should work. But let me actually show you the fundamental problem, what it is coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm coming to my matrix visual, and I'm going to bring the store type from the store type table and put it in the matrix in the table visual. So we have a store type, store name, and sales. So this is perfectly fine right now. It is working as expected, so no issue. But what happens when we add 0 to it? So here you go. This is the problem. It is showing all the stores, even we have selected the type fashion. So if we look at that, in fashion we have only two stores A and B, but if we adding plus 0 and look at the matrix, we will showing the fashion, and it is also showing A, B, C, D. Now C, D are not of type fashion, and it's still showing up. And the reason behind that is because we are forcing to show the 0 value of the stores, because the stores has a direct relationship with the sales, and that's why it's showing all the stores. So again, it does not matter what store type we select. If we select electronics, and when we select electronics, it filter the sales for the electronic stores and then get the sales of those. But other ones, it is always returning, because this plus 0 is forcing the non-blank value, and then we are seeing all the stores. So basically, it's like does not matter what store type we select, we still see all the stores, but we do see the correct value of the sales, that the value is correct, but everything else is the 0, and that is the problem with the Snowflake schema. So what could be the fix for this? First of all, if store type a store and store type is a one-to-one wrap, so one store can have of one type, then the better is bring the store type as part of the store table. So basically, instead of the snowflake, we will have the norm, we would bring the store type into the store table, and then we don't need to have a store type table in the model. That's the one way that would I prefer. In option one, we don't have a store type table, and we bring the store type in the stores table, and then we have a direct relationship with this. So that would be the first preference for me. And the least preference is to fix work with the DAX and fix the DAX. But I already brought the store type in the stores table, so let me show you how would that work if we use the store type from the stores table, and does that fix the problem. So let's go back to our visualization. So instead of bringing the store type from the store type table, I'm going to bring this from my a stores table. So let's bring the store type from the stores table, remove this one. So now what we have is, so again here, we are gonna bring store type from the store table. So now this is showing here correctly. So if I select fashion, what I see is fashion, now it is filtered. It's showing the store A and B, and it is also showing B with 0 value, even it does not have any record in the sales table. So we are forcing to show 0. So this is working fine. Electronics, perfectly fine. Groceries, whatever we select. So again, this is the first preferred method, is to bring the store type in the stores table and use that for slicer, so then it's a one-to-many relationship and works fine. And the second is, again, is to fix the DAX. Let's say if none of those options are possible or not possible, which are highly recommended, then what should be the fix? So I'm gonna bring the store type here in the slicer again from the store type table. Again, now we have back to Snowflake, and let's say, and here also I'm going to bring the store type from the store type table. So we are back to where we were, fashion, groceries, and the issue again we are. And so what would be the fix for the DAX? So I already have a DAX here. I call it sales plus 0. So here is what I'm doing is, what we're going to do is we are going to look into what are the visible stores based on the selected store type, and only for those visible stores we're going to force the 0, add the 0 value. So here is what I did. So what we're going to do is, if not is blank selected value, if the selected value of the store is not blank, then we give 0, otherwise a blank. So that's what this will give us the only visible stores based on the selected store type, and then we are using the force 0 and adding the sum sales value plus 0, so that this particular condition, force 0, will return 0 or blank. And if let's say if I selected a store type, whatever the stores are visible, only those one will return the 0 value, others one will return the blank value. So let's see how does this measure work. So if I go back here, remove sales measure, and then use the sales plus 0 measure, and here you go, the problem is fixed. Now we have electronics. Again, the store type we are using from the store type table, and then with our DAX logic we are forcing when to add 0. Basically that's what we're trying to do with our DAX. Okay, whatever the stores are selected based on the store type, only for those selected stores add 0, otherwise do not add 0, just leave it blank. So if I go to the fashion again, just to confirm, so fashion, we seeing the 2 stores A and B, and A has a sales and B does not have a sales, and then we are showing 0. And if we go to groceries, again, this is working as expected. There are a lot of talks about data modeling, star schema, and all the stuff, DAX and all the stuff, tons of posts and all the stuff. Again, this is a very, very simple ask, very, very simple example. And as you can see, and using the Snowflake schema, this becomes a little bit challenging to achieve some of the reporting requirement, whereas with star schema it is pretty straightforward. We don't have to do anything extraordinary with our DAX code, and we can simply achieve the result what we're looking for. And I hope you learned one or two things out of this video and learned the why the star schema is important, why the data modeling, and try to avoid the star schema, sorry, snowflake schema. But again, there are certain times that we cannot have the ability or the possibility to change our model to star schema, and then we have to little bit get creative with our DAX and overcome that modeling issue. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Do subscribe my YouTube channel. A lot of more videos coming up on Power BI talking about all different areas, paginator reports, modeling, DAX, calculation groups, my favorite topic, and many more. Until next video, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Thank you.